JD Vance was asked why he continues to spread the lie about Haitian immigrants eating cats and dogs, even after the woman who made the initial claim on Facebook came forward and said that she was lying. Now, this next clip is from a campaign rally at Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and boy, oh boy, does JD Vance just dance all over this stage to avoid answering the question. He's going to blame the media. He's going to distract you with housing and healthcare. He's going to try to tell you that the media is harassing and bullying people of Springfield. He's going to come up with another lie about kids in school and throw more American students and children under the bus. And then, of course, he's going to pivot to Kamala Harris's open border. Here is JD Vance putting on those tap shoes.
Hi, Senator Vance. Katrina Kaufman, CBS News. So a woman who was behind an early Facebook post about the Haitian migrants in Springfield has now apologized for spreading false rumors. You say that you have a responsibility to share what your constituents tell you, but don't you also have a responsibility to fact check them first?
Well, I think the media has a responsibility to fact check the residents of Springfield, not lie about them. I mean, look, I think this is really interesting. I actually think this is really interesting, and I've learned a lot about the American media over the last week, and none of it's good, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But look, what I've learned here is, first of all, I've got residents of Springfield who are coming to me with a dozen different problems. They've been talking about it for months or in some cases years. The American media totally ignored it until they showed up to fact check what some people were saying about pets. Well, why weren't you in Springfield, Ohio 6 months ago talking about the housing crisis? Why wasn't the American media in Springfield, Ohio 6 months ago talking about skyrocketing rates of accidents, of car insurance? Why weren't they talking about the rural health care problem? Why weren't they talking about the rural health care problem because the hospitals have been overwhelmed? Why aren't they talking about the fact that in a small town, you've got a school district that now has 1,000, that's not an exaggeration, 1,000 children who don't even speak English? How are the American children supposed to get a good education when everybody's focused on the other kids, who, by the way, are innocent children, but that doesn't mean they should be at 1,000 in every single American school? So here's the issue. So there's one story out there from multiple people, by the way. Multiple people have come to my office, have said on video, they talk about the pet story. And that's all the American media wants to talk about. And of course, the American media goes into Springfield, dives in, harasses everybody who dares to complain about the condition of the town. That is not journalism, and that's not seeking the truth. That is bullying on an industrial scale. And I think the media ought to be ashamed of itself. And let me just highlight this in a very real way. Yesterday, we got a call from a constituent in my office, a person who's very worried about a lot of the problems in Springfield and has direct eyewitness evidence bearing on a lot of them. And you know what this person said? Please do not share my name with anybody, because the minute somebody in Springfield speaks out, a dozen camera crews show up on their front door trying to destroy their lives. That is disgraceful. That is a disgraceful way to think about journalism and seeking of truth in this country. You ought to go in and listen to everybody. By all means, listen to local officials. By all means, listen to the people who say everything's fine, but listen to the people who say this town has been overwhelmed by 20,000 migrants and they can't take it anymore. And by the way, that story of a small town overwhelmed by Kamala Harris's open border, it is coming to every state in this union under Kamala Harris's policies. We've got to stop it.
Right, JD Vance. So it's the media's fault for not fact checking. But then when they did fact check and they found out that it was a complete lie, oh, well, no, they were harassing and bullying the people of Springfield, because when the liars got caught, when they got found out, Oh, then they complain that, oh, it's the media. They're harassing me. I don't know. Did you create a racist lie? And did you get people potentially hurt? Potentially killed? Did you do that? Oh, yeah. Just like JD Vance, you want us to feel sorry for you? You want us to blame the media for the lie that you spread? How pathetic. I like that he brought up the housing and healthcare, two things that Democrats have been railing on for years. Two things that Democrats have been focusing on for years. JD Vance, Republicans, Donald Trump, what the hell have you done for housing and healthcare costs? Still waiting on Donald Trump's concept of a plan, JD. And then he brings up 1,000 kids at a school who can't speak English. Oh, I can almost guarantee you that is a blatant lie. JD Vance, now you've added another lie. And he learns from the best, right? He learns from Donald Trump. When you're caught lying, just come up with something else. Get them to get everybody who's focused on your one lie to focus on your second lie, and then they can't focus on both lies at the same time. He says 1,000 kids are in these schools and they can't speak English. What does this do to the kids to the American school kids? JD, 16,000 Haitian immigrants were brought to Springfield to fill jobs. And now you're using them as a target for your own political gain. And what's worse is now you're focusing on kids. Now you're lying about their children. The people who really have no say in this. Oh, despicable. And then he pivots to the Kamala's open borders. This is going to happen to small towns all across this country. Sounds like a threat to me. Sounds like a damn threat. Like, look, I'll create stories about all sorts of migrant populations if it means that those small towns live in fear and they're divided. Means that they vote for me, JD Vance, and Donald Trump. How disgusting.